Okay. Yes, in today's previous class, we were discussing about some power curves, thrust curve, and drag curves, as well as we have written one small expression that is Vmax for maximum velocity. We have written this expression, and in today's class, we will, now in this class, we will study how to derive this equation, Vmax. Okay, that we will see. After that, we will see one more topic that is effect of secondary control surfaces in an aircraft. How it is which are the secondary control surfaces and how they are going to affect the airplane. That also we will discuss. So now for this Vmax, two methods are there. To achieve this Vmax, two methods are there. One is analytical approach and one more is graphical approach. Okay, one second. So analytical approach and graphical approach. So analytical approach of finding Vmax and graphical approach to find Vmax. In previous class, we have seen with like a thrust available curve and thrust required curve, which was looking like this. This is thrust available. This is thrust required. And now where these two things will intersect, where these two curves will intersect, that point is called as Vmax, maximum velocity. So this is by graphical approach we can find out maximum velocity. So now the same maximum velocity we can find out through analytical approach. That is nothing but through derivation. Okay, by doing the derivation, we will derive the equation for Vmax. That we will see now. So heading is analytical approach to find Vmax. And here we are going to consider the condition, which is the condition that what we have discussed in the morning, the same condition, that is steady level flight. Okay, we'll consider the condition that is steady level flight. Condition of steady level flight. Okay, so now in this we know that thrust will be equals to drag and lift will be equals to weight. So now here whatever thrust is there is nothing but our thrust required TR. Okay, thrust required TR, that is equal to drag produced and lift will be equals to weight. So I can rewrite my thrust required TR as d by w multiplied by w. I can rewrite like this because these two things will get cancelled. Finally, d will be remaining. So now, again I will rewrite the same thing. This as d by L multiplied by W. Why? Because our L is nothing but W. Lift equals to weight. Same thing I have substituted here. So I will rearrange the terms. Then TR will be equals to W divided by L by D. This thing we can achieve. So now we know that what is L by D? L by D is, and in previous unit, that is unit number 2, we have studied the expression for lift. Okay, as well as we have studied the expression for drag. So L can be written as half rho infinity V infinity square S CL divided by D can be written as half rho infinity V infinity square S CD. This can be written like this. Okay, because expression for lift is half rho infinity V infinity square SCL. For drag, that is half rho infinity V infinity square SCD. This is coefficient of drag and this is coefficient of lift. And we know that the drag, whatever it is there, it is a function of altitude, velocity and weight. So drag is the function of h for altitude, V infinity for velocity and W for weight. Okay, this is altitude. I think till here you understood, right? So considering the condition of steady level flight, our TR equals to, that is thrust required is equals to drag and lift equals to weight. So I can rewrite the equation TR equals to D divided by W multiplied by W. Okay, and then I will substitute in place of W as L. Then again I will rewrite the equation TR equals to W by L by D, and this L by D we know that is half rho infinity V infinity square SCL divided by half rho infinity V infinity square SCD, because these are the expressions for lift and drag. And D means what? So drag is the function of altitude, velocity and W. We know that. Okay. So now drag can be written as D equals to Q infinity and SCD, where your Q infinity is nothing but half rho infinity V infinity square. This we know this expression already. We have studied this. Please go back to your previous notes. Okay. Q infinity, that is nothing but half rho infinity V infinity square. So just I have substituted this here and rest of the things are remaining same. So this can be written as again D equals to Q infinity S. CD can be written as CD naught plus KCL square. KCL square. So now, what is this CD naught and KCL square? So whatever the coefficient of drag is there, so this is for total drag. Okay. So total drag in the sense it is sum of what? Induced drag and parasite drag. What we have seen in previous class. Okay. Induced drag is nothing but drag which is created due to lift, and parasite drag is nothing but the drag created due to the components of the aircraft, right? So which are opposing the airflow. So that is the reason I just divided total drag coefficient into two things. One is non-lift drag, that is parasite drag, and KCL square will give us induced drag. Okay, and here K is nothing but proportionality constant. While finding out the lift drag, K will give us the value as proportionality constant. Okay, So now, actually this expression is obtained from drag polar concept. Okay, drag polar concept. In drag polar concept, two things will come, as I said, parasite, induce, and also one more will come, that is wave drag. Okay, so finally we can consider them as parasite drag and induced drag. So from that concept, drag polar concept, we have taken this. Okay, this is nothing but the total drag. We have divided that, okay, in two different like groups, parasite and induced. Fine. So now we know that L equals to W. Yes or no? So now this can be written as Q infinity SL, because half rho infinity V infinity square is nothing but our Q infinity SS into CL. We call this as equation 1 and this as equation number 2. So before that, I'll simplify this. We'll find out what is CL. CL will be equals to, from this, 2W divided by rho infinity V infinity square S. I substituted that value, so this is half rho infinity V infinity square SCL. From this I can find out CL. CL equals to 2 will go here, 2W divided by rho infinity V infinity square and S. Call this equation as equation number 2. Now substitute equation number 2 in equation 1. Now substitute equation 2 in equation 1. So what we will get? So D will be equals to Q infinity S CD naught plus K, okay, CD naught plus K multiplied by 2W divided by rho infinity V infinity square S whole square. This equation we will get it. So after expanding this, I'll rewrite as half rho infinity V infinity square S multiplied by C naught plus 4K W divided by rho infinity V infinity square S whole square. If I rewrite this equation, then it will be like this. Okay, half rho infinity V infinity square S, Q infinity is substituted as half rho infinity V infinity square, S is there as it is, CD naught, okay, then the 4 I have taken out, 2 square will be 4, so 4 I have taken out, K as it is, W is there as it is, and divided by rho infinity V infinity square multiplied by S whole square is there. Okay, just have done simplification. So after further simplification, the same equation can be written as D will be equals to, this is equation 1. So D will be equals to half rho infinity V infinity square S CD naught plus 2Ks divided by rho infinity V infinity square multiplied by W by S whole square. What he has done here? We'll have a look. Multiplying half rho infinity V infinity square S into these two terms. So multiplying half rho infinity V infinity square S multiplied by CD naught will give you this expression. And same thing, you substitute, multiply this with second term, we are going to get this expression. Okay, I think that is correct. So 2 will just 2 ones are 2 twos are 2Ks is there as it is. Okay, and then rest of the things will come. Do simplification, definitely you will get that. So this is dry equation. So now we know that TR equals to T. That is thrust required equation is equal to, thrust required will be equals to drag, because we are considering the condition as steady state level flight. Okay? Steady level flight. Yes, no problem. So now I will rewrite TR as equals to Q infinity as CD naught plus K into S divided by Q infinity W by S square. Whereas Q infinity, I have taken them as half rho infinity V infinity square, direct substitution. Okay, so that is the reason I am getting this equation now. I am substituting everywhere as Q infinity. So here half rho infinity square will be nothing but our Q infinity, and this 2 will go that time. Fine. Then this is remaining as it is. So now multiply Q infinity and rearranging the terms, what we will get, I will get as Q infinity square S CD naught minus Q infinity into TR plus Ks W by S whole square equals to 0. For this, you multiply by Q infinity everywhere. Here Q infinity, and here Q infinity. Okay, and then bring all terms in one side. So then make that equation 2 equals to 0. Then we will get the expression as Q infinity square S CD naught minus Q infinity into TR and plus Ks into multiplied by W by S whole square equals to 0. This expression we will get. So now we can see that this equation it looks like it is being a quadratic equation. Then we can solve for Q infinity. Okay, we can solve for Q infinity because this is being a quadratic equation. So above equation since above equation being a quadratic one, equation, we can solve for Q infinity. Then we will get answer Q infinity will be equals to TR plus or minus square root of TR square minus 4S CD naught plus 4S CD naught K W by S whole square and divided by 2 into S CD naught. So this expression will get. Okay, quadratic equation. Fine. That is what is like B plus or minus square root of B square minus 4AC divided by 2A. Okay, that expression we are using because it looks like a quadratic equation. So now we are solving for Q infinity, and finally I can rewrite this. So after simplification, Q infinity will be equals to TR by S plus or minus square root of TR by S square minus 4 CD naught K multiplied by W by S whole square whole divided by 2 CD naught. He just dividing this equation everywhere by S. That's it. So by dividing numerator and denominator by S, we are getting this equation. Fine. So now by replacing Q with half rho infinity V infinity square, yes. So now in substituting for Q, so now for substituting for Q as infinity as half rho infinity V infinity square, what we will get? Substitute this equation here in place of Q infinity, then we will get as answer, I will write final answer, V infinity square equals to, because I don't have much space here to solve the simplification, you please do it, equals to TR by S plus or minus square root of TR by S square minus 4 into CD naught K W by S whole square. So divided by rho infinity CD naught. You substitute this in place of Q infinity as half rho infinity V infinity square and do simplification and find out the answer for V infinity square. You will get this. Please do the simplification and find out the answer. Okay? It's simple mathematics actually. And finally, I can write as thrust loading in terms of wing loading. Okay? So basically, wing loading is the ratio of weight of the aircraft to the wingspan area. Fine. So similarly, thrust loading also thrust required to the wingspan area, but usually it's not expressed as, I mean, like thrust loading is not famous as wing loading. So I'm taking that as in terms of wing loading. So thrust loading TR by S can be written in terms of wing loading like this, TR by W into W by S. So W by S is nothing but our wing loading. So I'm just writing thrust loading in terms of wing loading. Okay. So now substitute this thrust loading in above equation, then we will get the answer V infinity, that is equals to the final one what we have seen in before previous class, the main equation, the same equation, we will get it. Okay, that is written as TR by W into W by S. Just I'm substituting thrust loading in place of TR by S. That's it. I'm just replacing TR by S as TR by W into W by S. That's it. Okay, and plus or minus square root of we will take the terms outside. Just I will write the last final answer because here space is very less. So W by S into square root of TR by W square minus 4 into CD naught K whole to the power half divided by rho into CD naught. This is the final expression actually. So here whole to the power half is there. Please see it. Okay, I will just mark this. This is the equation for velocity, to find out the velocity approach. Okay. So now this is a simple equation. So that is only for velocity. Okay, not maximum velocity or minimum velocity. I'm talking about just velocity, v infinity. Okay. So v infinity will be equals to TR by W into W by S plus or minus W by S into square root of TR by W whole square minus 4 into CD naught multiplied by K whole power half whole power half and whole divided by rho into CD naught. Now the question is, when we can call that as maximum, when we can call that as minimum velocity. So now if here plus or minus is there, in usual condition how they will take, only plus is there. See, TR by W multiplied by W by S plus, only plus is there, then we can call this as V max. I think you are understanding, right? So that is V max. You can note somewhere that when V infinity equation has plus sign, then it is V max. Then it is V max definitely. When it is minus, then we can call that as V minimum. So if you suppose in exam they ask you to find out or derive an expression for maximum velocity, and then please you derive this equation and write the one word, that is, or else you remove this minus sign at the end for writing one more expression and show that as maximum velocity expression. Okay, so this is about how to derive the equation for velocity of the aircraft. Okay, so this whole equation is there. Please take some time to read it. Then we will move into Vstall. Okay, so now we have seen that we have got an expression for velocity purpose. If the sign is plus, maximum velocity, sign is minus, then it is minimum velocity. So now we will go for Vstall. So now we'll talk about Vstall, that is stalling velocity. Okay, that is stalling velocity. So we know that L equals to half rho infinity V infinity square SCL. So this is the expression for lift. Yes or no? So now from this we can find out what is V infinity square. So V infinity square will be equals to 2L divided by rho infinity SCL. Correct? Rho infinity SCL. This is the expression for V infinity square. So from this we can find out V infinity can be equals to square root of 2L divided by rho infinity S CL. Okay, one velocity we got by using lift equation. So now, when we can call this as V stall, when your CL max is there, when whatever CL is there, if it is max, and that condition will be called as V stall. Okay, that can be called as V stall. So I'll rewrite this. V stall is nothing but that is equals to square root of 2L divided by rho infinity S CL max. CL max. So this is the equation for V stall, that is 2L divided by rho S CL, sorry, rho infinity S CL max. So now in previous that big equation, that is V infinity equals to, that is TR by S, sorry, TR by W and W multiplied by W by S, some equation was a bigger one. Yes or no? So in that we said, like, if the positive sign is there in between the terms, then we can call it as a maximum velocity. And if minus sign is there, then minimum velocity. And now next is V stall. Suppose in case your V stall is lesser than V minimum, okay, that is V stall is lesser than minimum velocity, then we will consider V stall as minimum velocity. Okay, that we have to understand. Okay, if suppose your stalling velocity is lesser than the minimum velocity, then we will consider V stall as minimum one. Okay, so this is about V stall. So next we will discuss about secondary control surfaces. Effect of secondary control surface we will see now. Effect of secondary control surface. We know that which are the primary control surfaces in the aircraft. Okay, so the primary control surfaces of the aircraft are nothing but ailerons, elevators, rudders. Okay, so all these three considered as the primary control surfaces which will control the airplane. Then which are secondary control surfaces? So secondary control surfaces are, okay, secondary control surfaces are surfaces are, there are three are there: slats, flaps, spoilers, and last one, sorry, four are there: trim tabs. So these are called as secondary control surfaces. Then how they will affect the airplane? The purpose of these secondary control surfaces. Okay. So first one is called as slats. So these slats are present in the leading edge of the aircraft. So let us say this is the wing of the aircraft. Assume that, okay, this is the wing of the aircraft, and we know what is leading edge and trailing edge. So this is leading edge, which is visible from the front, and back side is called as trailing edge. So these slats are present or hidden inside the leading edge. Okay, inside the leading edge. So what are the effect of these slats? So what happens basically, whenever your aircraft is not taking off due to heavy weight, let us say, Okay, due to heavy weight or some other reason, your aircraft is not capable of taking off only by using the elevators. At that time, what we can do, if you want to generate high lift, then you can activate slats. So initially, they will be inside the wing like this. Once you activate, what will happen? They will come out. Slats will come out and it will increase the camber line of the wing. So once it is increasing the camber line of the wing, then it can gain more lift. Okay, so that we can call the slat as high lift device. Okay, so similar to that, flaps are there. So flaps are there at the trailing edge of the wing, next to the ailerons, inside or towards fuselage they are located. So these flaps also will help us to produce the additional lift required for the aircraft. So that is the reason these slats and flaps are called as additional lift devices. Okay, additional lift devices. And next, spoilers. Basically, nowadays spoilers are used in many of the vehicles. For example, for car also they are using spoilers. Okay, because it will cut the lift. That means it will not help to produce lift. Instead, it will help to decrease lift. It will not fly. It will come back. So that is the reason your cars are having spoilers at the back end. Above your dicky, whatever it is there, their spoilers are kept. Why? Because due to spoilers, the back side of your car will not lift in air. Okay. Now how it works then? So the name itself says that spoil. Spoiling what? Spoiling the attachment of the air streamline. Okay. So the layer of air is flowing above the surface. Suppose the spoiler is there, it will detach the flow from the surface of the body. Okay. So due to that, there is no contact between surface as well as air, then there is no generation of lift. So for that purpose, in aircraft also, spoilers are used to separate the boundary layer of the air from the wing surface, which helps to reduce the lift. So basically, if your aircraft is generating more lift, you can activate the spoiler. Okay, and hold the lift. And also while landing, basically we want to generate less lift or we don't want to generate lift. At that time, while landing, spoilers are activated, so it will act as a air brake. Okay, so slowly the lift will come down and finally your aircraft can land. So basically the use of or effect of spoiler is what? To reduce lift. How? By detaching the boundary layer or by detaching the airflow from the surface of the wing. So that is about spoilers. Trim tabs. The last one is called as trim tab. So for example, like here trim tabs are those which are tuned by pilot initially. Okay, what they will do? They will not operate the primary control surfaces. So just they will adjust the trim tab and they will sit silently. So small little correction it will do by itself and will allow the flight to go in steady level. It will not get disturbed soon. Okay, so that pilot can take rest inside. So trim tabs are used for controlling the airplane without pilot help. Okay, but before that, as per the speed and as per the altitude, pilot has to set the trim tab so that he can reduce his work. Otherwise, he has to operate, primary or secondary control surfaces to control the airplane if they are not using trim tabs. So this is about secondary control surfaces and their effects on the aircraft. Okay, so with this we will conclude here, and only one topic has left, that is power available curves. So that power available curve is very small topic is there. There is no much derivation like this. Only graphical approach is there. That we'll see in next class. Okay. Thank you.